It's Geekazine's special coverage of Blog World New Media Expo, Voices of New Media, and it's brought to you by the folks over at Stitcher, smart radio for your smart mobile device. Continuing coverage of Blog World New Media Expo, Jeffrey Powers with Geekazine.com and Stitcher Internet Radio, and I'm sitting in the middle between sun and sand. I just gotta love it. So yeah, we got Sonny and Sandy here, who are podcasters in geocaching. Why don't you tell us a little bit what geocaching's about?
All right, so geocaching is a sport or activity where some people hide containers with some goodies once in a while, and they take coordinates using GPS receivers, and then they post those coordinates up to a website, and then other people go use GPS receivers to go find those containers. They sign the log, and they put it back where it was, and then they go off and go find another one.
Well, they replace it with something equal or greater value, right?
Oh, well, they will replace the contents with something of equal or greater value. Usually it ends up being, used Happy Meal toys after a while. Yeah. But, yeah, that's the intent. Or you can just not replace anything, just sign the log and go find the other one just for fun.
Just as long as it's not a used Happy Meal.
Right. We discourage people from actually putting meals into geocaches, then the little critters go find them.
All right, so how long have you been geocaching, and how long have you been podcasting?
Geocaching for Sonny about 2003, and then the following year he kind of got me into it, and then podcasting since 2005.
Okay. And just so you've done a regular podcast, you're on Stitcher then, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Do you have like a favorite show out of doing this for so long that you just like to reminisce on, or even the fans maybe get an email that says this is your best show out there?
You know what? All of our shows are so good, it's hard to rate it, and that's what thank you. You know what? We're a variety show, and so we cover a wide variety of topics. We talk about geocaching tips and tricks, tools of the trade. We also do interviews with a lot of geocaching celebrities around the world. We do news, and we cover caching events around the world. So it depends on which show you listen to, but you're always going to get a pretty wide variety of that, as well as our personalities coming across. And hopefully it's entertaining. And so I think it's great for both new and veteran geocachers.
Okay. And some of our real popular shows are the interviews, because we've interviewed geocachers that also do really interesting things, like somebody who actually summited Mount Everest, and there's an earth cache up there, a sword swallower one time, someone who took a hot air balloon up geocaching. So a lot of really interesting people who also do geocaching.
Are there any geocache goodies inside Blog World New Media Expo somewhere?
Well, in order for the GPS to work, it has to be outside. So there's none actually inside, but right outside the convention center, we found one earlier that is really well hidden, and you would need to use quite a bit of stealth to retrieve it and put it back without, raising alarm. But yes, there's a geocache right outside the convention center.
What's the most interesting geocache that you guys have found personally?
All right, so geocaches can be as simple as just a small container, plastic container with a logbook in it placed under a bush, right, when you go hiking. But some people take it to the extreme. They've been hidden anywhere from underwater because of it requires scuba diving to get it, mountain climbing gear to get it. There's one that I found once that was so well crafted, it really was the making of somebody who's an engineer and an artisan to put it together. And what it was it looked like it was a fake birdhouse. But in order to retrieve it, you had to get some special tools. You pulled it down, you opened it up, and that was actually the geocache. Then went back up into the trees, and it was really an incredible feat of engineering.
Well, that's pretty good. Anything that stands out for you, or?
Sometimes the real appeal is where it takes you to just an incredible location, and so it's not so much about finding it or what you find. It's an incredible view or a really significant historical site, or people say, wow, I'm finding places in my own backyard I didn't know were there. So that's a huge appeal of geocaching.
Now, when you guys podcast, do you podcast in the studio, or do you actually take the microphones out with you to the geocaches?
Well, both. Both, actually. We have a mobile recording studio that we take along with us. I'd say most of the time, though, we're in our studio. We built a studio and come and produce most of our product that way. Yeah.
Okay. Do you have a favorite piece of equipment when you're out and about and doing the doing the audio?
Yes. Actually, one of my favorite pieces of equipment is my Olympus LS10 digital recorder. Works really well. The only thing I didn't like about it was the fact that it didn't handle wind noise really well. And so we were in Hawaii once and found that a maker of these great windscreens was also in Hawaii at the same time. So this is a good story. We contacted him and said, hey, we were interested in a couple of your windscreens to use on our mobile device. Would you be interested in maybe getting us a couple of those things in return for some product placement? And he said, I would be more than happy to do that. He took a look at our site, saw how the reach of our audience, and said he'd be glad to do that. So the way he got it to us, though, instead of just meeting us in Hawaii, you know where I'm going? Instead of just meeting with us, he hid it. He hid it, and then he gave us clues. It was hidden inside a huge Hawaiian hotel complex. And he gave us clues that we had to go to the front desk, say that we were Mr. So-and-so, right? There were clues that we had to go find from the Shawshank Redemption.
Okay.
So I'm like, oh, what was the name of that thing? So we got the clues from there and had to go around this hotel complex in Hawaii, found the little container. I'm going, this is cool. So he got into it. He wasn't a geocacher, but he got into the spirit of it. And from it, we got a great windscreen that I now use every time on my mobile recorder.
That's cool. I would have done the Brady Bunch thing. That way you would have met Vincent Price. But, it's each their own. You still got to do what you got to do and got a great product out of it. What did you leave in return, though? I mean, that's equal or better value.
Well, it wasn't a traditional geocache because once we took the container, there wasn't really anything left to be there. So the thing that we left of value is we did mention his product on a couple of shows. He thanked us for it because he did get a lot of customers from our mention.
So technically, geocaching, you just did a new area of geocaching, and where it becomes a geocaching promotion out of that whole thing. So.
Right, very, very, very much true. And we enjoyed it, and we got another connection yet around the world, through it.
Connections are the most important part when you do stuff like that, because you're talking with people and you're getting more, and then they help you out with a little promotion. It's all great. Where do people go to find out more information about your website?
Our website is podcacher.com, and they can find everything there. Mm-hmm.
Okay, and of course you can find on Stitcher, right?
And we are on Stitcher, yes. Yep, that's the best place to find it.
All right, and do you do audio and video or just audio?
Just audio.
Just audio? Okay. Cool.
Not just audio, really, really good audio.
Really good audio for really good geocaching. Check these guys out. And you could be in the middle between sun and sand. That's all I'm saying. All right, well, we got a lot of great other videos coming out and audio too. Of course, go over to Stitcher.com. Check out the new Voices of New Media. My name is Jeffrey Powers with Geekazine.com. You can check that out at Geekazine.com. Thanks a lot to Sonny and Sandy for keeping me nice and warm in this last 5 minutes here. Take care, you guys.